Okay, relentless storms that hit the Bay Area left a trail of problems behind.
Yeah.
You know that well.
For sure. When it comes to repairs, who is responsible? It's actually not always clear. Here's investigative reporter Hilda Gutierrez.
They say an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. For some residents living in Santa Rosa, the bad weather caused so much storm damage that they can no longer live there. Now, one of those impacted residents is waiting for the cure to a problem she says could have been prevented.
I wanted to have like summer barbecues. I wanted to have people over.
This is what Catherine Canaract envisioned 6 years ago when she purchased her Hillside home on Cooper Drive in Santa Rosa.
It didn't need any work. It had been flipped. It was kind of like a dream come true.
She thought a sloped backyard would provide privacy.
I was excited because it meant that somebody couldn't build behind my property.
But in 2019, during a heavy rainstorm, Catherine saw her fence and dreams come crashing down.
My neighbor and I, we had a landslide that was, in our yards.
She's not sure what caused the slide, but said it started above their property line. The city of Santa Rosa owns an easement behind her backyard, and a Jewish temple owns the property on top of the hill. Catherine says she was out $5,000, and her neighbor significantly more.
He had hired a company to rebuild the hillside.
Soon after, the city of Santa Rosa notified homeowners on Cooper Drive of their plans to replace a deteriorated concrete drainage ditch and install a retaining wall that would repair and reduce incidents of future slope failure. The city financed and completed the project. Catherine thought the city's work meant her hillside problems were behind her. Then came 2023 and a parade of atmospheric rivers.
So my neighbors, this was, a day or two after New Year's, across the street, called the fire department because they saw a landslide forming at the top of the hillside.
Catherine was forced to leave her home.
Essentially, they red tagged our homes and had indicated, it's unsafe, potential loss of life could incur.
She was out of her home for weeks. In March, the slide finally ripped through her back and side fences.
I think I'd been home for about a week or two, and then we had another huge storm. And next thing you know, this had come down sometime in the night.
Now Catherine is left trying to figure out who is responsible for the damage and if she'll be on the hook for repair cost.
Initially, they said that they were going to work together, the city and the temple, to come up with some sort of plan to fix the hillside, but it sounded like they were already kind of pointing fingers at each other, like the city, the temple, the city, the temple.
The city of Santa Rosa told our investigative unit that the slide area reconstructed by the city in 2019 appears to be stable and is showing no signs of failure. When asked if they anticipate helping homeowners pay for the damage, they said, the city is focused on removing the slide mast to address the current life safety issues. The day we met with Catherine, we witnessed cleanup crews with the city of Santa Rosa who were removing the slide mast from her neighbor's backyard. We also contacted the temple, who in part said this: we are working with the city on assessing the cost of the slide and its resolution, including repair costs. As to drainage, when the synagogue was constructed, city inspectors approved the construction of the drainage system. There's nothing to indicate it did not work properly this year, including prior to the landslide taking place. Catherine says she is glad to hear they are working together, but worried about what the next storm might do.
I'm nervous that the solution isn't going to be long-lasting. I'm nervous that it's going to be continuing to be unsafe. I'm worried that I'm going to have to relive this nightmare every year.
After our interview with Catherine, she told us the city has agreed to replace her back fence along the easement, but not her side fence. Catherine says her repairs are excluded from her basic home insurance because landslides are considered an earth movement, and federal assistance from FEMA only provides basic needs for a home to be habitable. With the investigative unit, Hilda Gutierrez, NBC Bay Area News.